Hey, what's going on, good people? I hope everybody's doing well. Look, it's been a couple Fridays came and went, and I apologize for not sticking to my own script, but ran into some problems the last couple of weeks with live buttons being gray rather than being red. And also, I'm finding more and more videos disappearing from my profile. I can only assume the powerless that be are probably in their feelings and wanting to show me that they've got power. Good luck with that. Anyway, so I guess I wanted to pop back in and give you another installment, the final installment of this particular chapter entitled The Widow and the Half-Sister. And now we're going to add some lying relatives to the mix. And before I get started talking about that, I kind of want to do a little cleanup, just some little house rules, and same as it was last time. The purpose of these videos, the purpose of these lives, are not necessarily to try to garner support on my behalf, not meant to try to change the minds of those who have been lied to. It is definitely meant to challenge the lies that have been told about me. But in no way am I trying to sway anybody's opinion with my perception of the truth. Again, as I've said before, I do not have anything invested in trying to change what others have already tried to speak on or have said or claimed to be the truth. I'm simply offering my version, right, of the truth as it appears to me from where I sit. So quick recap. I think the last video I explained to you guys a lot of the details that really stuck in my mind as to some people really attempting to try to play me like I'm some kind of dummy. You know? I also think that with the actions that have been taken and the way that they were taken, I can only assume that there's probably worse that's been done than what appears on the surface. You know, I think that there are, and I'm not a legal professional, right? I'm not a legal professional. I am not a doctoral professional. I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or anything of that nature. But in the last few short years here, I've seen a lot of narcissism. I've seen a lot of lying, and I've seen people taking their masks off. Some people had to have their masks removed. I want to make it perfectly clear also too, I'm not wearing a mask. I don't own one. All right, because I appreciate the truth. I believe in the truth. I think it deserves to always exist and be there, even in the face of lies. Lies that look good, sound good. Lies that people might want to believe simply because, well, maybe they just don't like that person. There's been a lot of that. But I think it's important for me to have to say in these moments, even if you already know, or maybe you haven't taken time to look at it or to give it a perspective, utilizing discernment. But what I have found with these individuals and their lies, their masks, their hatred, their contempt for other people that for whatever reason they think are doing something that they can't do, when the truth is that's not the truth. Anybody can do anything that I've done. Does require some courage and willingness, right, to put forth energy and effort to accomplish those things. But when we're talking about lies, I think it's important to think that for anybody deciding to tell something that is not true, knowingly doing so, it's always you. You're always the first person that you lie to. Right? If you're telling a lie, you have to first tell that lie to yourself. that is, I think that's just a constant premise. You have to lie to yourself before you can lie to others. So for any of these people out here telling their lies or considering conjuring a lie, maybe you should consider the idea of maybe not lying to yourself. Right? Because for those people with the ability to see through the lie, or even for those people who happen to just trip in and find the truth, when they do know the truth, even if they know it right then and there, you're the only person lying to yourself, right? So I just thought I'd just put that there for some of these grandiose fibbers that I know who might claim to be a relative, or maybe we share a bloodline. Stop lying to yourself. And also, let's go ahead and just run back real quick. Last time I did my last live, a few Fridays ago, I brought up a number of things that I missed in the second video. And so today will be no different. Like I said, these videos are meant for me to try to refresh and maintain my memory because I'm going to need it soon. And I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So one of the things that I did forget to mention was when we were at the service for my father, and I was saying my goodbyes, heading out the door. I get into the parking lot, and outside in the parking lot is my half-sister, her husband, and her other half-brother. And like I said, I brought moral support with me. So we were walking out, and as we walked out, they just happened to be parked next to where we were. So I stopped to talk for a minute. But what I noticed, what was strange, was that the other half-brother, who probably, maybe he's lucked out that my father's advice has finally reached me, because he was looking at me like he wanted to do something to me. I mean, if I could have taken a photo of this cat's face, you'd have been like, man, what's wrong with this cat? What's he upset about? Now, mind you, I'm thinking this in my mind. I'm thinking, what's he upset about? Does he want something? You want something from me? Did you have a problem with me that day? Other half brother? I sure hope not, because I'm sure you already know what time it is. But then as I'm inspecting him, right, I'm looking him up and down, I'm trying to figure out, why is this cat looking at me like he just drank sour milk? I notice he's got on one of my father's watches. Here I am again, guys. I gotta defer back to being water, because when I saw it, I thought to myself, you know what, I'm not even gonna tell you, because you know what, it would only, it wouldn't benefit anything. It wouldn't be anything for you guys to know what I was really thinking, but you just use your imagination. And consider physicality when you do it. But yeah, so this cat's got my dad's watch on. He's looking at me like he want to do something to me. My half-sister's telling me that her and her husband are getting ready to go for drinks later on that evening, and told me what hotel they were staying at, wanted me to come hang out with them and have a drink. But listen, my father just passed away. I'm not interested in having a drink. And more importantly, I had some really beautiful moral support with me, so I figured I'd rather, apply my energy elsewhere. So, in any event, I wanted to point that out and highlight that, because, like I said, the half-brother looked at me angrily. My half-sister always kind of has a look on her face that just seems like, like maybe the world's just not happy, right? But I wanted to mention that because I want to keep that fresh in my mind. But as a recap, I also wanted to point out the fact that, again, I was being told things that I know weren't true. My father left the widow the house, but didn't leave a will. And when I poked and prodded for details or information that would somehow make it make sense to me that that's what he did, even though he had already bought her out of the house some time ago, and she knew that, but obviously appeared to be hoping that I didn't know that. Talked about not getting a death certificate faster than I could get one online from a funeral home who wouldn't let me see my father, who claimed my father was still evidence. Right? Aunts talking about I was a bad kid. My father just died, and that's what you want. That's what you want to tell me. These are the memories that you want to communicate in this time of grief, right? Weird shit. Right? The aunt that lives in California asking me about synchronicities. Now, it's important to know that when she asked me about these synchronicities, highlighting the fact that her husband is a former Mason, right? Claiming he got out of it because he learned that it was a cult. It's becoming very clear to me that spiritual warfare seems to be at hand. Now, I may come back at a later date and I may discuss in greater detail what spiritual warfare really is, but I mean, to simplify everything, it's really simple, right? Everything that's here in the physical is physical. When we go to war in the physical, you see things, right? You see buildings crumble, you see bombs drop, you see people, carnage in the streets, right? Unfortunate pictures of what war looks like. But spiritual warfare is different. You see, because there's 4 videos missing from my earlier lives that I created back in June and July of last year. Those 4 videos are talking a lot about what I believe are a cult of family members who target other family members, who engage in dark occult, voodoo, orishas. I can't remember. What is that? There is an African religion that is tied to orishas, and for right now, the name of it escapes me. But I do know that there are family members who practice that religion. And as I've already figured out, a lot of my family members are Masons. A lot of the women in my family are more than likely Eastern Stars, since they tend to travel together. But it's my belief, and this is the part where I'm not telling you the truth, I'm telling you what I instinctively feel, what I've already experienced, is that some of these family members, they do spell work on these family members that they want to target. They place illegal life insurance policies on them, and then they benefit financially when that spell work takes hold. Now, I can't say for sure if you should believe me or if I'm talking crazy. If I'm being honest, like everything else, I don't really care what other people think. That's not the point of this. I'm not looking for attention. I'm not looking for validation. I can only tell you what I've experienced and what I've seen. I have seen family members pass away without any real understanding or notice of what killed them. Now, there have been family members that have died violently by way of gun violence. I gotta suspect that those were probably setups, because I've had people follow me to the airport, trying to intimidate me when I land and get back in my truck. I don't know how they figured out where I was parked. Maybe they put an air tag or something in my car. But my point is, some of those videos that I made, these videos that have disappeared, have more than likely been reported or something silly. Everything that I said in those videos is the truth, right? About my perception, about what I've experienced and what I think I know at at this point. And I've always heard little grumblings about so-and-so being crooked and still in this house when so-and-so died and doing this and doing that. All these things have happened. And like I said, with 3 aunties not saying anything to me about what my inheritance should be or what I should expect or anything of that nature, acting as if I don't know because they didn't know that I didn't know. Just lies. Right? I ask a question, they don't know. But me and my father, we talk. We talked every weekend, if not 2 or 3 times during the week. And some of the things I was asking about, we talked about. He mentioned talking to them about it. Yet when I ask about it, they don't know. It's unfortunate that I guess it gets easier to lie to yourself before you lie to others. The widow and the half-sister's attorney lying to me. He went so far as to tell me that there are certain things that the widow doesn't have to share with me with regards to my father's estate. Like life insurance policies, treasury bonds. I mean, there's a number of things that he's saying that legally the state of California doesn't care if she shares those things. And that's fine. But I believe that if in a court setting whereby I place a lawsuit against you, discovery is discovery. Right? Maybe they thought that I wouldn't get this far. Maybe they thought the attacks on my finances, the attacks on my mental wellness, the attacks on my personage, my character would be enough to maybe drive me insane, or maybe I get locked up, or God forbid, maybe that spell work actually hit and good old Darvel's gone. And if you guys remember in the last video, I was telling you how concerned my aunt was that I didn't want to eat any food that she had prepared. And don't get me wrong, right? You know, I get it. Doting aunts, you know, they want to feed you, they want to show you love through food and things of that nature. But to respond in the way that you did, because my diet had changed and I wasn't interested in eating what you ate, and then all of a sudden it became news to report to other sisters, to report to other family members. I don't trust them. I certainly don't believe them. And, shit, it's getting late, guys. I gotta get to the airport. But the main thing of this particular video was really just so that I could come and talk to you guys about how they had to lie to themselves in order to lie to me. And that because I don't believe their lies, that they should stop and look and realize they're only lying to themselves. I'll be back next Friday and every Friday after that. And if you continue to try to gray out the live gray button, or if it's not red when I try to go, I'll go to the store and I'll buy another device. I'll create an entirely new, I'll do whatever I gotta do. So you guys can continue to play the games you want to play. Like I said last time, I'm here to play as well. Only I'm playing to win. I'm doing this play just to play because I want a good laugh or a chuckle. I'm here to win, sir, ma'am. Before I go, I do want to say this. We just got out of some real crazy cold weather. I mean, it was snow on the ground and everything. Really beautiful, fun weather. I jumped in my Bronco and I played. I did a lot of little figure eights and some donuts. And figured out that I don't have control of the vehicle. But the snow is gone now, right? Or at least most of it's gone. And it's funny when I look at the snow like that, when I looked at it came and it was here, it fell, and it shut down things. You couldn't go nowhere. It got boring. You're stuck in the house. Eventually the sun became visible again, and the snow began to melt, and now it almost doesn't look like it was even here. It's kind of how I'm looking at this whole situation right now. And that's why I'm making these lives. Because when the snow does melt, I'm talking about these lies, I'm talking about these illusions, right? Because lies and illusions and talking bad on people's characters, all of that in my book is spell work. Right? If I lie to you and I get you to think something that isn't true, then I've just placed an illusion in front of you, an illusion that you've accepted. But like the snow, like I'm saying, these illusions or this snow that these fools have tried to place around me in my life is melting. Soon things will look the way that they did. And there won't be any mental unwellness on my behalf. There won't be any thoughts of suicide because someone tried to embarrass me or put me in some sort of stupid ass humiliation ritual. You know, like I'm a weak person of mind. Like I don't know who I am. Like I haven't studied myself. Like I don't know where I'm weak or where I'm strong. It's snow. And it's melting. No thoughts about suicide, no thoughts about harming someone over the wrongs and injustices that they've done to me, because I already know that karma exists. I already know that there's judgment that exists in this universe that's not handed down by a court. I just know. I just know. All your little snow is gonna melt. Anyways, it's enough of my ramblings for the day, but I just wanted everybody to know, no, I didn't quit. I didn't give up. People are trying to stop me from doing what I want to do, but you know, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna find a way to do it. It's what I do. So, for all you good people out there, I hope you're choosing wisely before you lie to yourself. I hope you tell more truth than you do lies. Because I think that, I don't think that love and lies can coexist. And I think it has to be some truth. Truth has to be there for love to be there. Truth's got to be there in order to find that happiness inside of you and pull it out of you. And the truth is there. It just is what it is. It's not meant to hurt anybody. It's meant to inform. It's meant for your growth. And if you don't like the truth, you can always change it if it's something that makes you feel bad. Anyways, I'm glad that the snow is going away. I like being able to drive on ground that I know I can stop on. I hope you guys have been safe and warm. If you guys have been dealing with any of this cold, hell, I hope you've been out enjoying this beautiful nature, this winter weather that we're having, if you haven't been snowed in. And last but not least, if you ever go somewhere and you think something wonderful about a stranger, something that someone you don't even know, but you thought twice before saying it, maybe they had a beautiful smile or lovely eyes, or maybe you liked their hair that day. Tell them anyway. Don't get all weird about people being weird about people saying nice things to one another. It's so crazy. It's absolutely crazy. If I tell you I think you look nice today, it doesn't mean I'm trying to push up on you. It just means I see you. So if you see someone, maybe tell them something nice. Tell them how nice they look today. Tell them they got a pretty smile. Tell Some of you got beautiful eyes. Or maybe you just like that outfit they're wearing. But it's just a nicety. It's something you can give to somebody without having to pull out your wallet. Give it a shot. Till next Friday, y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. I gotta jump on a plane. Wait, no, I'm not jumping on a plane. Somebody else already jumped on a plane. I gotta go. Love you. Take care of yourselves, people.